this should be the intro for video number 2, which is going to be Playfield design. It's going to be shot design and all that. So, fair warning, I've already built it. I've already designed it. And then I did shoot some videos while I was doing it. I didn't shoot a crazy amount, but I did do some videos, which you'll see coming up next. I realized that I didn't do an intro. I did like the intro for the first video, which I haven't edited yet, but I'm just kind of recording these and I'll see what we can do with those. So I apologize if first video is kind of weird, because again, I'm not planning these out really. I am going to say thank you to everyone on the Pinball Reddit community, because I've gotten nothing but praise. Everybody's been super nice. I've been sharing some of the progress on that Reddit, and it's been 100% a positive response, way more than I thought I was gonna get. So I appreciate that, like truly do. But yeah, I needed to do the intro. I also realized that probably I might put like a correction in the actual video once I edit it, but on the intro to the first video, I mentioned like, oh, I fell in love with pinball a couple years ago, and then I proceeded to tell a story about me playing pinball years ago. And I don't know if I made that clear in the video. Maybe I did it. I don't know. I haven't watched these already. Enough rambling. Whatever. I'll fix whatever I need to fix, and it's not like a lot of people is going to be watching this. So this is my workbook, and I actually started using this to design the pinball. So let's go through the playfield. So I don't know if you're gonna get to see this on camera. So this is my first attempt to draw it, and I said, yeah, this is not gonna work. So I didn't go this route. I just used the actual page, and there we go. Here it is. Because I tried to design a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna show you the actual page. But do know that I am going to, through the magic of editing, hopefully, I'll try to get you like a version of this that I drew over. I took a picture of it and I drew over it on Microsoft Paint, because of course, to kind of walk you through this. So this is the original intent. This would be the top third of the playfield. So you have the flippers down here. So you have an orbit. You'd have the inline feed over here. So in orbit, you have ramp number 1. You'd have a start button, a start mode button over here. You have an inner loop that goes back, that goes to the left. You'd have a bunch of other stuff. So you have the multiple lock and release mechanism, which we've gone away from that, and I'll go into the multiple specifically in a video because it deserves a video in and of itself. And we have the left ramp over here. Sorry, the left ramp, right ramp over here with a diverter that I haven't built yet, and I don't know when I'll do that. So yeah, you probably can't see jack all on this page, but I'll put up the. I'm sure I'll be actually speaking over this on the Microsoft Paint version of it. So with that being said, let's. I guess this is where I edit the video and I show you the actual build. So yeah, let's get to the actual playfield. We're gonna start working on the actual playfield today. We're gonna go over the design, the shots, and probably the theme. When this is gonna go, but we're gonna start with this piece of wood. You can probably tell, if you know anything about pinball, that this is not nearly large enough to do a full-size machine. But that's fine, because we're in the design phase. We're not actually building the machine right now. So what I want to do, this is about 30 inches in length. A standard playfield will be about 46-ish. So we were missing this chunk here. But that's fine, because I don't need the flippers for this. What I want to do is, I have a design. I've designed the shots. I know what the layout's going to be. Since this is not going to be using any solenoids, any kickers, any of that fun stuff, and it's going to be purely mechanical, the flipper is going to be controlled by hand, and I can't like just have a flipper up here. We're going to go with a basic fan design, because that's going to be the easiest to build, to play and to control and build rules for. And since this is my first build, and again, I'm not going to have an extra flipper anywhere, it's just going to be the two at the bottom, it's going to be a fan design. I know some people don't like that, but that's what I'm going with, and it's my machine, so deal with it. Okay, so it's about 30 inches long, and a standard pinball will be about 20 inches wide, 20-ish, 20.5, so around here, correct? And this is slightly wider. It's not as wide, so this is 22 inches, roughly. It's not as wide as a wide body, but since it's not going to go into a standard cabinet, I'm not going to grab a Williams cabinet and fit this inside. I'm just going to build my own. I can kind of do what I want. But I am going to go a little wider because we are going to try to fit 8 shots in there. And I want them to fit rather nicely. So we're going to give it a go. And I might find that I need more space. Or I might find that this is more than enough and I can go with a standard 20.5. So we'll see. First thing we need to do is go get some cardboard. We have some tape here. And build the edges of our playfield so the 80-gram steel balls don't go haywire and damage my floor, because I would get in trouble. And we have the edges of our playfield, at least the upper part of it. I didn't record that and do a time lapse of that because God, that'd be boring. You're not here to watch me cut tape and poorly cut cardboard and glue it to this piece of wood. So that's not the thing here. But now with this, we can actually work on our shots. And the very first shot we're gonna work on is the one all the way in the back, is going to be our orbit around the whole table. We're gonna call that shot 1 and shot 8, as we're gonna go again through those 8 shots. But actually, we have to figure out how we're gonna feed the ball into the game. The idea is to have a plunger here, so we need to design the orbit, but we're gonna have to put some cuts to where the actual ball would come in and feed into the table, and so you get start playing. We're gonna figure out skill shots and all that fun stuff later, but for now we need the basic layout and see if that works. So first things first is I'm gonna go get one actual ball for pinball, and we're gonna do that. I honestly don't know what they're called. I should Google that, probably, but you know what I'm talking about. We're gonna build a canal so the ball comes all the way around and into the playfield, and we're gonna have to build some nice curves here, which we're gonna use also for the orbit. And yeah, I'm gonna go get those balls then. And okay, here it is. We have our first loop and a feeding channel. I swear to God, I'm gonna Google this. I don't know what it's called, but it goes right into the playfield, and we have our loop, which goes one way and the other. Is it perfect? It is absolutely not. The ball bounces around a bit, so you can see there. The shot's not great, but remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to prove that the layout works. It's the next morning, and this is what I got last night. But now we're gonna have our main ramp, which goes around something, which I know what it is, but I don't wanna give it out yet. And we have goes around, and of course this would be wire form or acrylic ramp. I don't know. It's probably gonna come around all the way here and just go back to the in lane. We have this arcade button here, which I'm going to use to replace a kicker, right? It's going to be basically the mode start. Again, think Attack from Mars. The ball will usually go into a trap. It'll run the mode, and then a kicker will send it back out. With atoms, with a bunch of machines, that's basically how it works. Probably going to have an LED light somewhere around here to light up and say, hey, you can hit this. Boom, you hit it, and that's it, and you get the mode start. All right, update time. And there's a lot more on it than you've seen. Let's go through it because I think the layout is complete, and I'm still adjusting. I'm still messing with the ramps a little bit and the loops and all that. Some stuff works great. Some stuff still needs a little bit of work. But we've added a lot. So let's go through the shots one by one now that the whole thing it's ready. So we have the outer loop, which is going to be this one over here. Goes all the way around the back. That's the feeding lane, goes all the way through. That's the outer loop. And of course you can do it from the left or the right, both ways. Next shot is going to be the left ramp, which is, I don't want to give out the the theme yet, but this is going to be the left ramp, which is a bit of a tricky shot, but it's kind of supposed to, like, it should be something that, it's like the main boss battle for this playfield. So this ramp, goes into this toy that I'm gonna have here. Is gonna go loop around, and of course we're gonna have wire form. It's gonna go shoop and go back and feed into the in lane, right? So that's clearly not done, and I'm not gonna actually build that until I'm doing the actual table. Next shot is going to be this button here, which is going to be used for starting modes and stuff like that, like I've said before. Next shot is going to be this inner loop that feeds around the back here, feeds back to the main loop. Of course, if you go through this loop, it doesn't go all the way. You can still put it down through here, and I might get creative with the code and do where that's actually something that you want to have happen. But yeah, you have this loop that goes all the way around and back in here. Next up, we have the crown jewel, which is the multi-ball. And this took a lot of time and effort, trial and error. And I'll do a video specifically into the different systems that I tried, which is, I tried a few variations of it. But I'll do a video on that later. But basically, goes up this ramp, feeds into this pivot thing, and hopefully now it's getting kind of stuck now because, you know, stuff has shifted around with the ball constantly just hitting everything. But it feeds into this ramp, boom, 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 and the third ball is just going to tip it over, and it's going to fall through here. Bounces, and it comes in between these two ramps. It goes through here, it goes back to the flippers. So that works like a charm. It's super satisfying to to build it and to actually have it done. This is going to be the right side ramp, which, of course, same as the other one, doesn't actually have any wire form. The idea is that it goes up, and then it goes. I'd like to have a loop, so it might go up and then just do a loop, go here. And I do have the idea to do a split, like with a T section. I don't know how to make that with my hand. So basically, the ball hits one side and redirects, and the next time it'll go the other way. So every time you shoot this ramp, it's going to go. And ideally, you're going to have one wire form that crosses the playfield entirely and feeds into the one from the right, from the left side of the ramp. Just to give, it doesn't do anything, but I think it's just kind of cool. So I might do that. And of course, otherwise, it's just going to come straight down into the in lane. And finally, this is not, built in, but we would have a couple buttons, same as this, to make for, stand-up targets, which clearly I'm not gonna build automatic targets, but again, just buttons so you can hit, which also makes sense with the theme. So hit them over there, hit them over here, and you got a couple of those. And next video, we're gonna go over the different mechanisms that I try to use for our multiple, because the fact that I couldn't get them to work doesn't mean that they don't work. So I want to share that with you just in case somebody's smarter or has more time to put into them. So I'll share all the multi-ball tests that I did, and the actual one that's in the playfield now. And hopefully the video after that, we're gonna go over the actual flipper mechanism, which already exists, but it's not there yet. So yeah, we'll go over multiple, and then for the next one after that, we're gonna go over the flippers, which hopefully I'm gonna have them done and fully completed by then. Thank you.